Hello again everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of the Land Rover Series 3 rebuild. Right guys, before we get stuck in, I just want to give a shout out to two new subscribers to the channel, Russ T Mettle and Advanced Basic Engineering. Both have their own channels and both are into Land Rovers and offer great advice. I've been a sub to Russ T Mettle for a good while now, and I came across Advanced Basic Engineering's channel about 2 weeks ago, and just found his videos great information and quite funny as well. So guys, I'll leave a link to the channels in the description. If you could check them out and maybe give them a like and a subscribe as well, it'd be great. Right, so we'll get stuck in anyway. What we're hoping to achieve today is basically getting rid of the rest of the bodywork, the roof, the rear tub and the seat box. I suppose where we're going to start, we'll get rid of the rest of the floor panels. Nothing major in that, just a couple of screws. You can see they're kind of, in my case, a hodgepodge of different mix mash of screws and bolts. I'll probably end up grinding some of them out, and if I can remove the screws, I'll remove the screws. So we'll get the floor panels out first. Then we'll remove the gearbox tunnel. No big deal in that, just a couple of screws here and there. So we've 3 on this side, and I think there's 3 on the other side as well. No big deal, they're just flathead screws. They come out quite easy. With the seat box, a little bit more difficult. Just there's more, when I say difficult, it's just more nuts and bolts to remove basically. A few of them will probably be welded in with corrosion as well, so again it'll be a grinder job, but again nothing major. There's a lip, there's like a lip channel all the way around the bottom of the seat base, so you can see there's 1, 2, 3, and then going up onto the rear tub as well. These are holding the seat belts, so you've got 1, 2 there. Then across the back section, bolted into the rear tub, you've got a couple of bolts going all the way across. So yeah, nothing major, just they're probably going to be seized up. The reason we're removing the seat tub, it's obvious really. It's bolted into the rear tub. So I'll get rid of the seat box. I'll come back to us and we'll take it from there, guys. After that, we're going to tackle the roof and then obviously the rear tub and the rear door. So guys, I'll remove the seat box. Once that's out of the way, I'll come back with the video and I'll show you what I'm at, okay? So again, there's nothing major in this. It's quite simple. It's just nuts and bolts, removing it. So yeah, this is kind of the boring part really. Once all the body work is away, we kind of get into the interesting stuff. So stay with me guys and I'll be back in a sec. Right guys, that's the seat box out. That was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. It didn't go as easy as I thought. Now in theory, it should have been quite simple. If all the bolts weren't rusted and corroded, it would have been an easy job. And there was a couple of modifications as well. I'll show you now in a minute. But all in, that took me about 2.5 hours. I was planning for about a half an hour on that. So it goes to show, some things you think are going to be easy, they end up taking you a bit of time. Now, most of the bolts across the front came out easy enough, but there was a couple of stubborn ones. You can see the corrosion there, the electrolysis between the aluminium and the steel. That's what kind of seized them up, and especially these ones, they were a little bit awkward to get in at. But the best way I found was the ones you could get with the grinder was just grind them off, and then the other ones, I tried a number of different routes, but the handiest was just a simple drill, basically drill them. Yeah, so I'll show you the state of the seat box. Now you can see in the corners where they had the seat belts bolted in, you can see the electrolysis between the seatbelt bracket and the actual aluminium. It's basically rotted right through. So this whole panel, unfortunately, is going to have to be replaced. It's not a big job, it's just a couple of pop rivets. These panels can be got, and it was the same on the other side. The other side was actually worse because there was a safety harness going through, a big massive steel bolt. I had to end up grinding the whole lot out. It was a bit of a nightmare. The rest of the seat box is in pretty good condition. The tool tray, as they call it, or the battery tray. Some people keep the battery, some people convert this into a complete tool tray. It's probably gone past save, and it is steel again, so we'll probably whip that out and we'll replace it. I might try and get a galvanized one or buy a steel one and galvanize it up. But as I said, I will show you how we're going to repair these panels. These panels can be all bought individually. It's simple enough, just a matter of drilling out a few rivets and separating it and putting in the new panel. Right, so we'll go with the roof, guys. Now, because I'm by myself, I'll probably take the roof out into 2 sections. It will make it easier for me as well to transport it through the house. Now, officially, it's easier if you have somebody with you. You can unbolt the roof. It's basically 3 bolts either side. So you can see those bolts there. This one on the top. You just release it both sides. And there's 2 more at the back. So you have one in that corner and then one in this corner here. It's actually under there. So yeah, 3 of those bolts will remove the whole roof in one section and the side panels. Now I'm going to go about it the hard way because I'm by myself and I want to get this through the house to store it out the back. So again, it's simple. It was just like taking the window off, just a couple of 7/16 bolts, 11 mils basically. They're all individually spaced all the way around. And you just unbolt those and the whole roof panel will lift off. So there you go, all the way around both sides. So I'll whip those out. I'll probably bring the video back to you and show you the bolts again to lift the side panels off. Yeah, so again, guys, bear with me. If I run into any trouble, I'll tell you the trouble I ran into. Now you can't see I have a dog cage on the back of this. It wasn't put in by me, by the previous owner, but that's just there's a few rivets going through that'll have to be taken off, and obviously the 2 uprights there, they're bolted into the roof, so they're just extras for me. I'll have to remove those. So I'll get all of that out of the way, and I'll be back with you in a sec, okay? Right guys, so that's it. Roof off. A little bit more light coming in. Yeah, that was easy enough. It was just the bolts that I said straight across the top and at the back here. You can see the ball there. Came off, no bother. There was actually no sealant, which I was quite surprised. There was no sealant on the top. And it was the same this side. Basically just took them out. The hardest part actually was the dog. The dog cage was riveted into the roof. And yeah, that was the hardest part. I just drilled those rivets out and removed it that way. Now for the side panels, I was telling you earlier on, you've got 1 bolt here. I think they're 13s, top and bottom. 1 in the corner. So you have 2 at the back, basically. And then the 1 at the front that I showed you earlier on. Now I didn't show you this one. It's just another bolt catching it onto the tub. Now in my case you can see that's riding too high. You can see the gap there. So obviously whoever put that in, they weren't watching. So it's literally riding too high. You can see the gap all the way around. And the same on that side. You can see it's actually bulged up. So they'll be adjusted when we're putting it back on. Now I am toying with the idea of a soft top. So if any of you have any recommendations on a soft top, whether to go down the road of going soft top, I do like the looks of them. But again, the Irish climate, similar to the English climate, it's quite cold in winter. and I'm wondering would I be better off with the hard top. So if anyone out there has any ideas, give us a comment. Yeah, so guys, I just took the back door off as well. No big deal on that. It was just 2 bolts, 2 on the top and then 2 on the bottom, and then there was a stay on the door going back here. It was literally just a bolt running straight down through. I took that out. I might leave the side panels on and just go straight at the tub now, guys, because I'm kind of worrying about the weather here. You can see pretty grey. There is rain forecast. So again, it's a simple enough process in theory, but I've actually started, to be honest. It's basically these bolts at the back here. Now again, in my case, I'm going to grind some of them out that are causing me issues. As I said, I'm not trying to save anything here. We've a new chassis for it. So you've got 2 here, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So you've got 10 at the back, and then I'll show you around the front where they are. Slightly different place in the front, in underneath on the front, connected onto the chassis. So you have 2 there. Now looking at them, I'm just going to grind that whole plate off that's connected onto the chassis. I'll grind that's just straight across there. So you have 2 and 2 over the far side, so that's 4 there. So 10 at the front and 4 at the front and the 10 at the rear of the tub. And then you've also got 2 stays underneath. I'll see, can I get it in there? So you've got a stay going onto one of the outriggers. It basically bolts onto the wing on the tub. In my case, it's actually hanging off. So that stay there basically should go onto the bottom of the tub here. You can see it goes across here, but in my case it's actually just rotted straight through. We'll probably end up making up a new stay for that. It's no big deal. I was looking around the tub. The tub, it's not in bad shape. You can see there's a couple of dents here and there. But again, like, this isn't going to be a show pony. I wanted something looking nice. But let's be honest, right? Land Rovers, they are made for getting abuse. So, as I said, I'm not looking for a show pony here. I want it to a nice finish. I will try and beat them out as best I can. Now again, we'll save that for another video. But other than that, on the sides, the far side is actually better, believe it or not. There's a bit of a dent here. Now again, it's gone through the capping as well. Now when I say the capping, these are your capping pieces. Now originally they should be galvanized, but they've been painted in this case. But we will remove them. They're just a couple of rivets going through. We'll just drill the rivets out, and again, once we have the side panels off, they're going across the top, we'll drill those out. I want to take all the cappings off. I'll get them re-galvanized. I do like the galvanized finished. I'm thinking maybe getting the door tops galvanized as well. Have seen it, it does look nice. So that's why I was thinking the doors, galvanized door tops, and the soft top, it might look nice. Now the front wings, I was having a good look at the front wings. They are looking pretty rough. I don't know whether to go down the road of repairing them or buying 2 new wings. Again, at the end of the day, as I said, it's not going to be a show pony, so we'll assess the wings again and we might tackle them in another video. Yeah, so I'm going to go at these. I'm going to try and take out what bolts I can. If I can't take them out, I'm going to grind them out. And then that should be it. The tub should be coming off. Now guys, I'll come back when I have them all removed, and I'll show you the tub. I'm not going to pull the tub off by myself. I am going to get somebody around to give me a hand to lift it off, but I will show you that it's loose and ready to pop off. Now the only other thing that's going to stop us from removing the tub is the fuel tank. Again, it's just 2 pipes. Now there's our fuel tank there. It still is bolted into the chassis, but we'll just remove those 2 pipes before we lift the tub off. It's no big deal. There's just Jubilee clips around. Nice and safe. Yeah, so I'll remove those guys and I'll be back with you in a sec, okay? Stay put. Right guys, that's it. Finally off. So that's all the bodywork off basically. We're down to the chassis. The tub just has to be lifted off. As I said, it's a bit heavy. I won't lie, it is heavy. It is ready to lift there. You can see I've slid it back a bit. I slid it back. You will need probably 2 people to lift it off. I won't lie, there is a bit of weight in it. Now, 1 person you could slide it back, but I'm not going to chance it. I'll get a friend around and he can help me lift it off. The front bolts I thought were going to be a nightmare to get off. They came off nicely. They were very corroded, but they came off nicely. I took the fuel lines off, no issues. Just Jubilee clips, just undone them and lifted it off. They came off, no problem. And then I was able to lift the whole tub up at the front. At the back first. I lifted it up and kind of slid it back a bit over the mounts, and then I was able to lift the front section off over the hoses and that, or over the filler neck, should I say, on the fuel tank, and slid the whole thing back, so it's ready just to lift off. The back end, the bolts at the back, some of them came out easy enough, others were hard. I had to grind them out. The 2 end plates were the hardest. I just ground them off the chassis completely. Now when I flip the tub upside down, I'll be able to get at them and I'll take them off. No issues. The tub, few bits and pieces that probably need to be redone on it. You can see the dreaded tail section. This always goes, it's a nightmare once it's onto the chassis. I might put a panel in behind it, depending on how I get down to it, or else I might replace the whole section. Like, they're hard enough to take out this panel. There's a bit of work involved. I'll see how I'm getting on. I might replace it. I might just put in strengthening plates at the back. Again, it's all going to be hidden behind the chassis, so we can tidy it up and straighten it up. We might make it look good, you know. The 2 end sections, we'll probably replace these. They are kind of spot welded in places, so a bit of a nightmare, but we can drill those spot welds out and replace the whole panel if needs be. We'll see how we get on. Again, it could be tidied up, but I would like to replace those panels. It's not a big job, so we probably will replace them in the end. The cappings are going to have to come off. Well, I am going to take the cappings off, no big deal. I drilled 2 out just to see, and it's handy enough. You just run a drill bit in, don't have to run it in far, and they just pop out, you know. So yeah, that's basically it, guys, for today. The tools I've used so far to get me to this section, I haven't used a lot of tools. I've been quite surprised. I'll give you a look at what I have used. So I had a Halford's Advanced Mechanics tool set. It's just your basic one. You can there's a mix of Imperial and metric in that. That's after coming in really handy. Now I have fancier ratchets and stuff, but for a Land Rover, as I said, you don't need anything fancy. Like that tool kit and these SATA Imperial spanners have got me kind of out of everything so far. They were €6 on Amazon, and they're brilliant. Like, they've really held up well. I'm really surprised now. So I'm happy with that. A €6 purchase. That's after saving me. Couple of selection of screwdrivers. I have a rough flathead for just knocking things out when you grind bolts off, just knocking them through and stuff like that. The big Phillips then, that was used for the doors, which ended up having to be ground off in the end anyway. Just a normal flathead screwdriver. The impact gun, that's an essential, really is. It's after, that's paid for itself already. €40 for that with 2 batteries. AliExpress, can't go wrong. I think they take Makita batteries as well, so if any of you have Makita tools, that's a no-brainer, go for that. The walt drill then, just for drilling out rivets and screws and stuff like that. And then the grinder, another essential. That's after getting me out of a lot of trouble as well. What else have I got? That's basically it. A little small shifting spanners. This saved me a lot as well. I done a review on this. It's a great tool. Basically comes like that. Handy tool. I think Crescent make them as well, but that's SATA brand. I think it was €25. Now the beauty with this is, you can see they're both imperial and metric. So you've got a 10mm 3/8, and you can see the splines. They say this fits nearly every nut and bolt pattern that you can get, and I have to say it's worth its weight in gold. It saved me. The beauty with them is they're hollow all the way through, so you know if you have a nut that's sticking, protruding straight out, so you can slip it, you can slip the thing right over it. Now again, I done a review on this tool, so I won't go too depth into it, but like you can slide that all the way over, and as you can see, it's handy for that. And there was a lot of hodgepodge nuts and bolts that were put onto this Land Rover from previous owners throughout the years, so that kind of saved me bacon as well, that tool. Like, but that's it, guys. There's nothing, I've used nothing else special. Like, realistically, that's, you'd get it. The grinder kind of is an essential, and the impact gun isn't essential, but it is nice. It just saves a lot of sweat. It kind of breaks bolts loose for you that are really seasoned on. So yeah, a grinder, impact gun, you're probably talking, let's be honest, if you get good quality stuff, you'll be looking at maybe 100 for the tool kit, 40 for the grinder, and probably 40 for the impact gun, depending on what models you go for. The drill as well, again, you could go Parkside or something, but you're looking at probably €200 worth of tools there or thereabouts to get you going. There's no reason why you couldn't get away with the whole build with those tools, to be honest with you. Now I'll show you another thing that I just picked up. Nothing major, just a set of safety glasses that I got in Lidl. They're Parkside ones, and I have to say, I hate wearing safety glasses. They always kind of steam up and hard to see through. But guys, I'm not messing. These are the best safety goggles I've ever used, and they were only €5. I'm going to try and pick up another few pairs of these. Honest to God, they're so clear. They don't steam up. They have nice fence at the bottom. Really impressed with those for the price. So if you see them in Lidl, pick them up, because if you're like me, I never wear them, and it's only, you know, it's only when you're grinding and a bit comes close to your eye that you say, oh, I should have had my goggles on, or a bit goes in your eye. So yeah, I've started kind of using the safety gear now, so they're a must have. If you see them, pick them up. So guys, I won't waffle on anymore. That's where we're at. The plan, as I said, I'll get the tub off and probably get my mate down Saturday, which is tomorrow. I'll give him a call. I'll get that off. I'm going to then steam clean the whole lot. I'll, well, pressure wash it, clean the place up, get it nice and tidy, and then that's when the fun stuff starts. We'll go, probably, we might take the, I want to take the alternator and probably the starter motor off. I'll probably wrap the engine for a while because it has been raining and I just want to keep it dry. Get the electrical things off it. We'll go at probably taking the rust and stuff off the axles, Start draining all the fluids. I'll order up a couple of rebuild kits. The plan is I'm going to try and do as much on the chassis as I can, and then when I have it to a certain point, I'll start stripping them down off the chassis and bringing them inside and doing full restore on them. Yeah, I'm kind of caught at the moment. I probably will need an engine crane and a couple of axle stands, so they're next on the shopping list. Now again, probably pick them up cheap enough now. I think an engine crane you're looking at about €200, and axle stands probably the same. You probably get 4 decent ones for about €100. It's not a lot of money, but it is money at the end of the day, unless somebody wants to sponsor me. So I'm after an engine crane and a couple of axle stands. Mixed garage, wink wink. Yeah, no, only joking, guys. But yeah, that's the plan. We'll leave it there, and I'm kind of happy with the progress so far. It's, you know, the more I look into it, the more I say, am I mad? But I am enjoying it. I won't lie. I am enjoying it. I didn't think I was going to. But yeah, and making the videos is keeping me going as well. I like getting videos out for you on a Friday. So I'll do my best. I'll keep trying getting these videos out, depending on work. But I will try and get you out at least one a week. So thanks again, guys, and thanks to all the new subscribers. We'll see you again.